Recently, I encountered a term that struck a nerve, the Slavish mind. It sounds harsh, even abrasive, but this was the concept Master used to pierce through our allusions during his discourse on the Huanzhu family precepts. We often complain, practice is too hard, I can't take it, or I don't have time. But Master posed a sobering question. Look at the beings in the higher realms. Their suffering is thousands of times more severe than sitting in meditation or circumambulating a Buddha. There, the choice of whether you can take it or not doesn't exist, you simply must endure it. Yet, once you return to the human realm, gifted with a little wisdom and a little freedom, you begin to complain about every ache and pain, avoiding any discomfort whenever possible. What does this reveal? It shows that we aren't incapable of enduring. We just haven't been pushed to the brink yet. This is the slavish mind, only moving when driven by the whip of pain, rather than choosing to ascend through the gift of freedom. Chapter 1, The Threshold, Heart of Iron, and the Spice of Lifetimes. In the Huanzhu family precepts, Master Zhongfang Minben sets a high threshold for overcoming this slavish nature. He says if you cannot achieve a total breakthrough all at once, then at the very least, do not live your life in a careless, slipshod manner. You must forge a heart and body of iron and stone. Your will must be like iron, indestructible and unchangeable. Master says if you don't have this heart yet, go home and don't come back until you do. Once you have this heart, you need a special spice. This spice is time. The Zen master used a specific word, mix. Just like mixing a cold salad. If you don't add the spices, the dish has no flavor. Practice is the same. You must mix this entire life and even the next into the dish of the path. You must be prepared for the long haul, 1 life, 2 lives, 3, or 5 once you start this journey. There is no stopping, and certainly no retreating. Chapter 2, Practical Application of Indignant Struggle in the Meaningless. So, how do we actually do it? The master says, fix your gaze blindly upon a flavorless hued tool, a Zen coin. Take the famous coin, empty-handed, yet holding a hole. Logically, it makes no sense. If your hand's empty, how can you hold a hole? Most people think about it for 2 minutes, get frustrated, and quit. But a true practitioner stands firm, planting their feet like a soldier in a T-stance. You must possess a kind of indignation. I am desperate. The work isn't done, and I must pick up this hole. This drive must be so intense that it makes your neurons grow wildly. You push, you endure, and you use your flesh and blood to ram against that iron wall. At this moment, praying to Buddha, flipping through books, or seeking external inspiration is useless. You can only rely on this indignant tenacity to grind it out to the very end, until one day, you can truly command matter with the mind, picking up the whole without even using your hands. At that level, all the inventions and tricks of the world become mere child's play. Chapter 3, The Landscape, the Catastrophe, and Rebirth of the Merit Forest. To show us why we must struggle so hard, the patriarchs painted a picture for us. Master Bai Yang fashion described the current state of practice, the winds of the world howl, devastating the forest of merit, the fires of the mind blaze, incinerating the Bodhi tree. Imagine the scene. The small amounts of compassion and patience you gathered each day are like fresh springs. But as soon as the external wind blows and you lose your temper, the howling wind snaps your merit forest in two. Before the spark of awakening in your heart can grow, the fire of ignorance flares up, a blazing mind fire, instantly turning your entire body forest to ash. This is what we do every day, painstakingly planting trees while simultaneously setting the forest on fire. That's the patriarch lamented. If our yearning for the path was as intense as our worldly passions, we would have been Buddhas long ago. If your drive for practice were as thick and concentrated as your drive for romance, fame, or fortune, you would have reached completion ages ago. Chapter 4, Liberation, Momentary Release, and Matching a Password. At this point, you might ask, didn't Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva save his mother? Can I make a vow on behalf of my family? Master says that it depends on whether the account number and password match. Ksitigarbha's mother was suffering intensely in hell. Her desire for liberation was absolute, allowing her to resonate perfectly with the Bodhisattva's vow. But if the other person has no faith and does not practice, if they spend their final moments resentfully blaming the Buddhas for their pain, they take away all merit in an instant. Ultimately, one must rely on oneself. So, how do we achieve liberation in every speck of dust? Master teaches a minimalist method. When the dust of affliction appears, do not follow it. Simply do what is dharmically correct. When you serve others as if serving yourself, doing work for any being with the same sincerity you would for your own life, the affliction drops away a little. The next time it happens, and you refuse to follow it, it drops away a little more. In this way, the Buddha Dharma is constantly present, and liberation happens in every moment. Chapter 5. Epilogue: Falling waves in a creek. White clouds in a valley. In the end, this state of practice is as beautiful as a landscape painting. As the Zen master said, yellow leaves fall into the creek and are pushed away by the water. White clouds hang in the valley and are rolled back by the wind. Yellow leaves fall, and the water naturally carries them off without a trace. White clouds linger, and the wind naturally gathers them back. This describes the heart of a practitioner. This nature, as it is Dharmata, is the true freedom that comes after the pushing and the indignation. In this volatile era, may we all plant a steady tea-stand in our hearts. Stop letting the winds of the world scatter your forest of merit. In every moment an affliction arises. Try to immediately spark a heart of awakening even, if you only resist following the habit by a tiny fraction. Thank you for listening to this wisdom transcript provided by the Australia Buddhist Action Association. We will see you next time.